So I know we said we'd talk about it later, but this lines up too perfectly. Speaking of influencers, toxic gaming culture, and taking the game seriously, how about that Tyler 1 versus Ludwig match? Did you hear about it?
What a great
It lines up.
what a great
perfectly.
match. So I don't care about the match.
Yeah,
I don't care about the match itself.
That's not what matters at all.
Immaterial.
Would not have talked about it at all.
Yeah.
However, the way that it played out, the storyline outside of the event itself, infinitely fascinating. Anytime there's a first to 10 of some kind or whatever it is with a there's arcs to this. So the big overall thing, I talked about the Daigo versus Mena Kemono Michi Beast's Path the other day. This is the furthest possible thing from that, where they had a show match at Evo between Tyler 1 and Ludwig. And this was like
if you're not familiar by any case, these are big boys.
Yes, these are big streamers, big known YouTube streaming everything people, big following, etc. Not particularly fighting game forward, but they've been invited to do a show match first to 10 between in Street Fighter 6. And the way this has been, like, going up to this, there was definitely a feeling of like, okay, this is a big thing on stage that they're doing. It feels like you're grabbing people just based on their follow count more than on like how much they give a fuck.
You obviously are
about the game, and that's not a good feeling. So why would we give a shit about this, right? Very, very reasonable, understandable, thing going into that. And it ended up being something where up until the last moment, what was happening with it was so Tyler 1 was playing, grinding it out on stream a lot, playing a ton of ranked matches, playing Guile, jumping on and just playing, hours and hours, until he eventually got to High Master, which is above the first level of getting to Master rank in Street Fighter 6. So usually that's like, oh, you know what you're doing. That's a pretty respectable position to land in, right? And people saw that and were kind of like, holy shit, from the other day, just watching him play the first time to like getting to that point, that's nuts, huh?
Congratulations.
And in the meantime, there was like people who were like supposed to be coaching or giving Ludwig like advice or tips or whatever, were like, please boot the game up, please, for the love of God. Like, and it seems like he just has not been paying attention and ignoring it or whatever. And you're like, okay, yeah, this is what you get when you just, you pick people that don't really care about the thing going into it. It's a bit of how, admittedly, when we're talking about like the genius of like how the slam is set up, where you have multiple days to like you have a first day to fuck up and realize, oh wait, I give a shit, and then come back in and like fix those mistakes, right? But with the master rank, with the high master rank stuff with Tyler, it turns out that was achieved by one and dunning everyone who beat him and blocking aggressively them or characters he did not want to fight against, thus creating a really skewed ranked path of people who I can beat or who I'm getting points off of, not the actual general population playing the game. Right. And people were bringing up modern as a part of that, and modern isn't relevant because there are Japanese players that take modern up to legend. That doesn't matter. But the idea of, there was the part about like, okay, he's playing it one straight way and didn't want to learn many combos besides like the auto combos and stuff. But ultimately, by blocking everybody and like leaving all the matches where a challenge was presented, you have this thing where like you get a number out of this that tells you, hey, you're this level, this is what this means, that's your validation. But what does it actually mean when it comes to your understanding of facing opponents and what the game is and what challenge looks like? This is great
heel shit, I really have to say. It's like, it's excellent A+ heel behavior. Like for dramatic purposes and emotional through line, like, oh wow, that's actually super great.
And so I think prior to that, there was one like leaked stream where like it was like, oh, it was revealed that Ludwig would be playing JP. So then Tyler went and grinded against fight him in that matchup or so. And then, long story short, he showed up on the day and said, no, I'm not playing that, nor am I playing Honda, a previous character I was seen playing as. He switched to a random character that you never would have expected, Marissa, that you were secretly grinding for the last couple months.
And this is why it's really important to play against unpopular characters.
Play against the whole roster, to play against everybody. And he switched to a character who has a really specific way that you fight against her that can be surmounted clearly, but not if you don't expose yourself to it. And he has armor, and she gets in your face and does simple combos for big damage. And if you don't know what the deal is with them, because you avoid those matches or so, then this is a moment where, yeah, exposure happens. And like, he gets 10-3'd in a really convincing sweep, where he basically goes in and Ludwig, like, there's a moment where the fight starts and everyone's like, all right, here we go. And then he perfect parries 2 sonic booms. And then he does a basic combo, gets a corner carry, and then does a safe jump setup, which then leads to a wake up situation that Tyler doesn't know what to do, because he's like, I don't know how to deal with it. And then Ludwig does cross ups on him that work every time, and he just does some very simple but well structured game plan implementation with this character that Tyler would otherwise was
and
not
that's
facing.
the difference between your numerical ranking that you made on
artificially
points and and just practicing.
That's it, you know. And you're kind of like looking as well at the difference between, like, Guile is a really annoying character to fight. He's very strong, he's very good defensively, and you can for them, because everyone has to play around him setting the pace by shooting sonic booms and flash kicking you can autopilot your way through a whole lot of that game, all the way up to the point we saw. But if someone approaches that has like a couple answers to that, when the autopilot breaks, if you don't have a second layer underneath it,
you just panic.
That's it. And I saw people kind of going like, hold on a minute, what the fuck is Marissa like a really strong matchup against Guile? Like, can she stop him?
No, Marissa's a really strong matchup against Tyler, who doesn't know what the fuck is going on in the match.
Marissa is not a good matchup against Guile, but it is against a one-dimensional Guile that it is. Because if I walk up to you and do an armored move while you sonic boom me, and then you don't do anything about it and I punch you,
you'll just die.
You'll just continue to die. Yeah, you have to change to plan B, you know? So it was quite just an interesting, like, look at this clash of philosophies that played out over this otherwise this show match that was going to be ignored, and here's the result of it, you know. Yeah, you should probably, I'm not going to tell, look, I don't pay your sub, so you want a one and done and do whatever, okay, sure.
That is versatile, isn't it?
It sure is. It sure is. But if you're blocking people that you don't want to play just simply on the premise of like, well, you know what though? You're not necessarily going to be going to a stage match at EVO or whatever the case is. So if you're going to sit at home, do whatever you want, I guess, at the end of the day. But it is something
as long as you're not rage quitting.
Yeah. If you do care about the results or whatever, then so be it, you know? I got a really good question from someone yesterday too at the end of the stream, who was asking like, hey, as somebody who like finds no value and needs no number to tell me how to enjoy my fighting game, I don't care about ranked, how do I find the motivation, or what motivation can I find to even go into that, or like to start doing that mode, you know?
The answer is you don't have to.
No, you definitely don't have to. And like, again, playing with your friends and playing, you know, locally, or playing with just private matches or whatever is absolutely a super fun way to go. And there's people that you see are beasts with no rank. But if you do want to use it, because the question sounds like you did want to get into it, I was basically saying, yeah, use it to ignore the number, ignore the results, use it to go, today I want to practice my ability to tech throws. Let's see if I can tech most of the throws players are throwing at me today. Regardless of whether I win or lose, that's what I'm going to be doing as a little bit of homework, you know? Or today I want to fight against Manon and see how I do against this particular type of situation, or get good at avoiding Geef, you know? Whatever the situation, put a little side quest on your day and then go into ranked with that side quest instead, you know? Anyway, so yeah, that happened at EVO. That's a fucking amongst many other things that we'll get into in the news.
But what about what came out of their mouth?
Well, afterwards on the microphone.
Because guy who paper tigers his way to the finals only to get blown up because they don't know what they're doing is a very classic story, which I kind of love to see again.
And then,
but that's not new. What is new?
And then when Ludwig, it's actually not new. It's as old as time, really. It's every single discussion we've ever had about this genre on this podcast.
That's right.
When Ludwig was asked about practicing and training, and I forgot the exact context of the exact question that Rob TV asked, but he basically went like, why weren't you streaming, practicing and playing the game? And like, why'd you all do all this labbing in secret or so? And like, besides keeping the knowledge from Tyler for the matchup surprise, which is very useful, he said, yeah, I didn't stream fighting games because I like viewers.
And it's like
that on the main stage at Evo. That statement. Okay, it's like, okay, true. On the stage at Evo.
Yeah. So okay, I'm actually right there with you. Is this an objectively true statement? Absolutely. I can go into like my metrics analysis and look at like what my channel, like me and you do fighting games. Like we have been known to love fighting games, talk about fighting games on the show and on our shows all the time. And I can go into my channel, for example, and like look at how that does to random bullshit. And like, yeah, fighting games are niche. They're very intensely beloved by those who love them, but it is niche. But in front of everybody at the show,
and the very reasonable thing that people were mad about was the idea that like, you were paid to be here at this event. That's crazy, right? That's insanely disrespectful. And it's like, true though it may be.
Oh, very true. Like objectively accurate.
Fuck, and then I saw some people coming back and going, yeah, but the fact that it was so like, they talked shit and talked, like at one point he's like talking about how other genres have you fighting against people called the Adolf Hitler, and like, but here in the FGC,
that's true.
But here in the FGC, you get to meet them live in person, and you'd be like, oh, you're actually a pretty alright person. Good games, or whatever the fuck versus other genres, But the people were saying the fact that it was like not so buttoned up, and that the event had them talking shit in this raw way, and they're being real about it, is what made it more entertaining than if it were this hyper clean and whatever event. I get that too. It's just that statement, yes, it's true, but holy shit. Like,
so I will say one thing about the appropriateness. So first of all, is it rude? Of course it's rude. It's like, oh man, my feelings. But at the same time, you said, bro, you're being paid to be here, right? He's being paid to be here because he's a gigantic super streamer.
Yes.
And he's a gigantic super streamer
because of his attitude.
Because he's not a fighting game streamer.
Right. Like
it is honestly, self-evident.
It honestly, what it amounts to is similar, not identical, because the pay is like unconditional of the result, I believe, at the very least, for the if I understand correctly. But it's kind of like when fighting game player wins the tournament and goes, yeah, this game is ass, I don't even play this shit, that's fucking hilarious, well, I can't believe I won, wow, what a fucking shitty game, yo, fix the game.
Didn't Sonic Fox also at 1 year was like, I'm not even good,
I don't even play? Yeah, there was this has happened multiple times. I can't even remember the specific of which to reference, but this has absolutely happened multiple times. With For Honor, it's happened, you know, yes. There's been a winner that walks up and goes, yeah, this game fucking sucks. Thanks for the donation.
My opinion is that the winner should be given a microphone and no one can stop them for multiple minutes, right? Like, they won. They're the best.
People were going, is Mena gonna even get a chance to talk after that? Or are the Cap Cops gonna just tackle anyone who gets on the mic after Ludwig? You know? You get your chance to say whatever. So if it's Punk, if it's Sonic Fox, if it's For Honor, whatever, yeah, you could say whatever, right? And ultimately, this is kind of what that reminds me of. It's just, you could say it, you know, you can drop a truth nuke. You know, they hated him because he was right, and all those other things, and it's like, yeah, if you want to go full heel, you can do a full heel move. You know, it's a bummer, but no one can stop you from saying that and doing that, and you get the right to do whatever the fuck you want to say that shit. People get a right to feel the way they feel about it, you know? So not everyone is going to be the champion that takes it in grace and says, like, let's big up the community and so on, you know? Some people are going to be like...
Unfortunately, for me, the way that I want it to work is that I want the winner and the second place, I want one of them to be a classy, kind individual, and I want the other one to be a complete monstrous piece of shit.
See, that's not even what I want. What I want is, I want first place to be a classy individual who fucking hates the shit out of second place.
Okay, all right.
I want first place to be classy all around, but he wants second place dead. That's what I need. I want specific level of toxicity.
So you want Viscant versus Low Tier God.
I want you saying that the next time you forget the taste of my balls, the next time you need to be reminded, you can fucking come up to me and we'll see it. We'll do it again. You would 1,000,000%. It needs to be Viscant versus LTG.
The Viscant.
That's exactly where I was going.
Like, interview it's aging better every year. And like he's scrawny, he's not physically intimidating anyway, and he's just yelling at him that he has no class and that he came here from like volunteering at the old folks home to like help people with disabilities. And
I didn't realize, so that video took on a second life outside of the FGC, just in the internet at large, with like a subtitle like scrawny white nerd destroys thug at Street Fighter or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's this thing of like, yeah, look, there's a look at the David and Goliath moment, right? It was this insane like thing that had the context completely stripped out of it, because just look at the moment that happens afterwards, and then he goes on to talk about all the things he does in life as a good person, you know? Yeah, this is it. You need that laser focused, like, no, this is a class act of a person, but when it comes to you piece of shit.
Your righteous hatred gains a new dimension when you spend your time being an objectively good person. It's like a nice seasoning on top of it.
You know there's reasons for it. Yeah. And I encountered that a couple of times, you know, and there's a little history, you know, that makes it makes that little spice, that little kick to the win, you know.